Hey, singer. Today I wanted to go over 6 common questions I get as a voice teacher about different aspects of singing. Today I'm going to give the broad stroke answers, the general ideas of what these concepts are. I'm going to lay out my first impression or reaction to each question. Okay, first up, what warm-up routines do you recommend before singing? This is a very personal thing. Everyone ends up finding their own warm-up routine. This routine generally comes from a voice teacher who they're studying with will dictate how they warm up, repeating some of those exercises that work really well for them. I have a template or structure that I generally follow, but it's not the same every time. I find that doing some sort of lip buzz or tongue trill or in sort of a siren-y up and down motion generally gets the air flowing. Once I get the air moving, then I'll do something that converts the air into sound and helps me get that vibration, get that tone going. Some sort of squeaky M. For me, top-down exercises are more helpful, helps me reduce weight. So I'll do a lot of that. After squeaky M's, I try to recreate that feeling on a vowel, whether that's an A or an A. If I want my mixed voice to lean more chest dominant, I will use an vowel or an A vowel. If I'm looking to thin out the weight, add more head voice into my mix, then I will do top-down exercises or using vowels like E and Oo, adding more of a hoot in order to keep my throat more open and less restricted while maintaining a good resistance ratio. In other words, the air and the muscle are coordinated and working together in balance and in the desired configuration that match the song I'm doing at the time. Some songs or moments in songs require more chest dominant approaches, while others require more head voice dominant approaches. Okay, question 2. How do I control my vibrato? Vibrato is one of the last frontiers of vocal science. There's a lot of theories, but there's no conclusive idea. The best thing I've heard is that singing muscles are working in opposition. If you push against your hands, there's a little bit of a shake. So when muscles are engaged in balance, they are just having this little tug of war with each other. The subtle overpowering back and forth causes a little bit of a shake. This is actually the litmus test in most classical singing for good vocal technique. I sang in the school choir and was on my 2nd year of voice lessons, and I couldn't find vibrato. But the more I developed better vocal technique, the more experience I gained. Vibrato started to happen spontaneously. And the more I noticed it, the more I focused on it, the more I could start controlling it. A vibrato that's too fast or too slow can cause issues. The personal discovery of what vibrato speed suits your voice will be your journey to discover on your own. There's no right answer for everybody. We don't want to manipulate the pitch too much, but if we try impersonating a ghost, this may be a way to find it. Ooh. If we go from a higher pitch to a lower pitch, you may discover that the speed of the air may start the lower notes to vibrate. If you can sustain that sensation and keep it going, then you're well on your way. Hey. This has a lot to do with airspeed, vowel clarity or vowel specificity, and appropriate resistance. Singing can be like a Rubik's Cube. Once you solve one side, you have to maintain it while adding the other layers and matching the other colors. With singing, it can feel like spinning plates sometimes. You focus on the fundamentals, and then you have to add the advanced things. As you're focusing on the advanced things, the fundamentals slip through the cracks. Once the fundamentals slip through the cracks, then you have to reset everything. Plates will crash, you'll have to reset, but the more you practice, the more automatically the neural pathways of your brain will connect to these motor skills, and you'll be able to sing well automatically. I always say singing should never be an emergency. It should be on purpose. Next question. How do I improve diction and pronunciation while singing? This is a complicated topic, but I like how Professors Henry Higgins and Harold Hill describe singing in My Fair Lady and The Music Man. Singing is just extended speech. Just say the word on a pitch. Practice saying the words on pitches. That's going to be closer to our best natural sound. There are useful ways to modify sound through changing the vowels, using different combinations of chest voice and head voice. But at the end of the day, what separates vocal music from instrumental music is the lyrics. It's not a poetry slam, but you do want to add emotion and focus on the words. I always say, take care of the lyrics. There's a lot of information jam-packed in the words. These composers, these musicians, these singer-songwriters have compressed so much meaning into their lyrics. They've thought through the rhyme schemes, the content, the story, the meaning. You may not be a mind reader and guess exactly what they had in mind, but the beautiful thing about performing and art is that every level it amplifies. The original creator will have one idea. Performer of that work adds another layer to that idea. The observer of that performance adds another layer. It's exponential. Meaning is added at every layer, and that's a beautiful thing. To get back to diction and pronunciation, when we sing, our speech is stretched out. You can think of it like a slow motion filter. All the details are exposed and inconsistencies are revealed. A southern drawl accent that you may hear in country music is a distortion of vowel clarity or a diphthong, a change in vowel during a note. We need to extend the length of our vowels, maintain their integrity, while not forgetting the consonants which define the gaps between words and gives us our language. It's important to attack consonants for clarity's sake, extend vowels for beauty's sake, and put them all together on the flow of the breath. Easier said than done, but with practice, singing diction becomes automatic. How do I choose the right songs that complement my vocal range and style? Students will come to me asking what they should sing. My general response is to throw the question right back at them. If they're wanting to learn to sing, they should pick the music. Especially starting out, it's easier to explore the nuances and new habits of singing with material that's familiar. If there's a song that you know really well, choose that. It's going to be easier to practice the new habits on a song that you already know. I'm not going to tell you how to interpret a song. That's not right. I'll show you the choices, but at the end of the day, you're the artist. Some voices may find an easier time in particular styles, and that may or may not line up with the taste of the singer. Some singers may find that opera suits them best. They dig into the linguistic nuance, the rich and difficult music that goes along with it. Other singers may like the improvisation, nuance, rhythmic variety, and instrumental combination of jazz standards. There's no right or wrong answer here. What music do you like? Different voices have different ranges. A beginner singer's range will expand over time, giving them access to more songs. Modern day technology gives us easy access to transpose music and put it in keys that are more comfortable to sing. We may not sing it in that key forever. You don't have the same voice as the original singer of that song. Don't feel locked into that key. You can change it if you need to. Some songs sit higher in the range, some sit lower, some are somewhere in between, and some explore both extremes. The farther apart the highest note is from the lowest note, the more difficult the song is to sing. In that case, transposition may not help. Songs are often written by the singer themselves. Obviously, they're going to pick a key that they like best. Don't feel obligated to sing it in that exact key. Don't lock yourself into a specific key. Try a bunch of different ones and see what works best for you. How can I build and maintain vocal stamina for longer performances? The key element of conditioning or endurance in singing is developing technique, which you can do through voice lessons. Singing is a motor skill involving muscles and brain connections. Just like swimming, ballroom dancing, or boxing, muscles grow when you use them. Going from couch potato directly to 5K runner may be uncomfortable. You may finish the race, but if you built up to it, you're going to have a better time doing that 5K. The same thing is true for singing. If you're trying to sing a 3-hour gig after not singing for 2 months, you're going to have a hard time. I recommend trying to sing for 10-15 minutes every day. Do that for months. Do that for years. And over time, you'll develop the ability to sing more efficiently. Maddie Tarbox shared the really cool analogy I like, vocal allowance. Everybody gets a vocal allowance, and everybody chooses to spend that allowance in different ways. The more high notes you sing, maybe that costs a little extra. The heavier, the louder, more bold, edgier styles may demand more of your allowance. The more time you spend singing, that's going to cost you. If you only sing once a month, maybe you can take more risks. Maybe you can sing higher songs. But if you're performing 10 times a week, you may have to find a technique that fits the demands of your schedule. You will need to identify how much rest you need between singing, how late in the day you prefer to sing. The more you sing, the more choices you'll have. The more you condition your voice, the more demands you can put on it without overworking your voice or tiring yourself out. All right, last question. Can you provide guidance on vocal improvisation or ad-libbing? Personally, riffing isn't my strong suit. My voice is a bit larger and heavier, so moving quickly is more challenging. I haven't invested the time to practice that aspect of my voice, so I may not be the best one to ask. Natalie Weiss has a bunch of videos breaking down the riffs, and she even has an online course about this. If that's something you're interested in, that would be a great resource. Generally speaking, experimenting is the best strategy. If we embrace a spirit of play, we discover really cool things by accident. If you really like riffs, start copying the ones you hear in your favorite songs. If your favorite artist does a really cool riff, copy that. Try to recreate it. If you have an idea of how to improve it, change it up. Try a combination. Over time, you'll build a library of riffs. So when an opportunity in a song comes up and you want to throw something in, you'll have plenty of tools at your disposal to implement in that song. Listen to artists who use a lot of riffs. Try to do what they do. Adapt it and see if it fits in your voice. Try it. If it works, keep it. If not, look for another way to accomplish the same thing. That's it for today. 6 questions answered by yours truly, Singing Greg. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll catch you on the next one.